Where are all the ants? A question I haven't asked my friends until this year. Where are all the ants? Most people have their houses invaded year after year. This year was different, maybe you only saw a few, or maybe like us you saw none. Most people hate them, and if they disappeared many would not even give it much thought. But I can assure you, after a serious investigation into the subject, they are disappearing. This brings up a serious ecological question. What if ants went extinct? Just like the bees, they play an important part in our lives. Here is the current timeline. Day 1, no ants. Except for a few scientists who happened to be studying the ants at the time of their mysterious departure, nobody would notice. For those scientists, however, they would immediately call up their partners and start throwing blame at who let the specimens out. Oddly, this is what has happened. Day 2. Humans have for the most part gone blissfully unaware of the lack of ants, but the spiders have taken note and they are getting hungry. Also, the scientists are still scratching their heads, wonder where their test subjects went, and are scouring the area for more. A few people start to wonder where or what has happened to them. Day 3. An increasing number of spiders have begun to venture out looking for food. There may even be a slight uptick in spider bite cases at the hospitals, but no one has noticed yet except for the scientists who are now contacting their superiors and other colleges to see if they have any ants to spare. Surprisingly, there has been more spider bites this year than any other year. Day 4. The spiders have begun attacking other insects that they would not normally attack to get their food, causing other insect populations to be affected. The scientists are now openly talking about this phenomena online, but only amongst themselves. Week 1. By the end of the first week, the spiders are in full force and some of the non-scientist humans have taken note. Also, the birds have gotten in on the game because their food supply is dwindling due to the lack of other insects that were killed by the spiders. The scientists begin to write articles about the situation, but nobody really pays any attention to them. Month 1. The birds are going crazy, attacking each other to compete for food, as well as the insects who are in an all-out battle with the spiders. Also, a few articles have now been published that people are taking note of. The scientists have all but confirmed that there are no ants and are starting to get worried about the implications of this, but no one is really paying attention. Some people make jokes about it online or on late-night TV, but it's all light-hearted because it's just the ants. Who cares, right? Year 1. The ants are gone. Virtually everyone on the planet is aware of it by now, but there are more important issues to deal with. For example, there was some particularly bad harvests in India and also Africa, which has driven the price of food up in those areas. In America, this hasn't affected much except for those in the commodities trading sector. The markets have been all over the place this year, and it has made some people very rich while others have taken a hit. A few wacko scientist groups have also started making waves about the loss of the ants and how it will be catastrophic to our ecology, but everyone figures they are just like the climate change people and pretty much ignore them. Year 2. Nobody quite realized it, but there were actually more ants on the planet, by mass, than there were humans, so when they went, so went a massive supply of food. This, in turn, has caused massive die-offs of other insects and lower life forms that feed on them. Without these insects, the soil has started to go bad because we relied on them to fertilize it. By year 2, crops have begun to fail globally. Total output is down by 20%. Because of the crop failures, an increase in food prices, rioting has become more and more common in the more impoverished areas of the world. The ant conspiracy nut jobs are being taken ever more seriously by common people. Funny, have you looked at the crop reports? Year 3. Because of crop failures both at home and abroad, the US has decided to decrease or eliminate many of its foreign food aid programs, and there is a growing resentment of America in general. Somehow this must be the fault of Monsanto, right? Terrorism increases significantly both at home and abroad. Maybe this is part of the New World Order's plan? Or maybe it's an old plan that just has started, in any case it's working. Year 4. Total natural grown food output is down by 50%. However, due to quick ramp up of artificially grown foods that have been made available by U.S. agribusiness, there is hope on the horizon. Presidential elections are dominated by what the topic of how best to distribute the food supplies to the countries in greatest need. Unfortunately, in October, the New World Order manages to successfully detonate a large bomb in the center of Los Angeles, which destroys the U.S. bank building and much of the surrounding neighborhood. It's part of the domino effect. Stock markets crash, most of the world goes into a Great Depression. Year 5. With the draconian new legislation written up by the new Republican and Democratic House and Senate, the United States takes a breather as everything seems to calm down. Unfortunately, they have become blissfully unaware of the takeover of its national airwaves by the new united executive and legislative branches and are not noticing the crumbling of society that is happening in the rest of the world. Year 6. The war with Korea. Another bomb, but this one is a dirty bomb and it takes out the Freedom Tower in Manhattan. Within days, Korea is a glowing wasteland of radiation, as well as much of Africa and India. By the end of the year, the Earth's population has declined by 90%. Year 100. A new species of insect has started to inhabit the radioactive areas of the world, and along with it the crops are following. Total farm output has increased by 100% and the human population has doubled and turned to a more agrarian lifestyle. By this time, the new insects are quickly refertilizing the Earth's soil, and because they are impervious to radiation, they are thriving in the formerly uninhabitable parts of the world. Slowly but surely, the humans have also begun to repopulate those areas. The insects take note of this and begin planning in their council what they are going to do about the human infestation, many of which have taken a likening to human flesh. Humans become food for the gardeners of the New World. Many of you will ask me how I came up with this timeline. A friend from a place I can't say here, gave me a bunch of software a few years ago. Inside the program packet, was an AI predictive program called Next. I simply put in the question, what would happen in 100 years if ants disappeared? Most of what is in this video is the information that was on the printout. Just another day at Paranoid Times. Stay paranoid, my friends.